Look at the Hooghly River today in Kolkata. It's a massive, muddy, fast-flowing artery cutting through one of the most densely populated cities on Earth. But if you dive straight down through those currents, buried deep in the riverbed, there is a classified World War II facility, a forgotten outpost of the Project Shadow network. Look at this archival photo from the 1940s. The unclassified fragments that survive from this period keep repeating a single ominous phrase: destruction after destruction. Buildings were gutted and infrastructure was reduced to ruin. Engineers built this subterranean vault to permanently isolate a catastrophic secret, keeping it separated from the city by layers of reinforced concrete and river mud. In the 1940s, Kolkata was a logistical powerhouse for the Allies. This image captures the scale of the supply chain. Hundreds of ships and endless cargo moving through the port created a chaotic environment where a black-budget operation could easily disappear. The surface streets were congested and highly vulnerable. You can see the heavy military traffic and urban density in this photograph. Storing highly sensitive military assets in this environment was a strategic liability. Instead, they looked down. But sinking a massive facility into an active, muddy riverbed using 1940s technology contradicts standard civil engineering. The water pressure alone should have crushed the project during construction. The fact that these blueprints were successfully executed suggests the military was protecting an asset of world-altering value, referred to in internal files as the fire beneath the veil. To understand how they reached these depths, we have to look at the water's edge. Finding the original access points requires mapping where the historical shoreline, seen here, meets the modern riverbed. This diagram shows their primary tool, the caisson shaft. It's a giant hollow steel cylinder. Engineers pumped high-pressure air inside to keep the river water out, while driving the tube down through the mud to hit solid bedrock. Inside that cylinder, workers had to physically dig out the earth by hand. The air pressure in these cramped spaces was maintained at dangerous levels just to hold back the thousands of tons of water surrounding the shaft. If a compressor failed, the river would instantly flood the chamber. The crews faced constant risks of drowning or suffering decompression sickness from the volatile pressure changes. Simply entering this confined space meant defying the crushing, lethal weight of the Ganges River system directly above. Once the space was hollowed out, the brute force engineering began. This photo captures the sheer volume of material needed. Convoys of trucks and mechanical mixers churning out thousands of tons of concrete to build the outer shell. This cross-section shows how they survived the depth. A flat wall would quickly crack under the river's weight. Instead, they built hydrostatic bulkheads, thick, curved walls designed to distribute and resist the constant inward push of the water. Modern builders use thin, waterproof membranes to keep underground spaces dry. But as you can see here on the right, the 1940 solution was pure mass. They poured walls several meters thick to withstand the environment. However, declassified blueprints reveal a massive structural anomaly. Deep inside the complex, several of the heaviest reinforced bulkheads do not face the river. They curve inward, pointing directly toward the center of the bunker. In structural engineering, you point the curve of an arch toward the pressure you want to resist. Standard military bunkers are exclusively designed to keep the outside environment out. These massive inward-facing defenses clearly indicate that the facility was originally designed to keep something truly catastrophic securely locked inside. Navigate past those inward-facing blast doors, and you reach the lowest sublevel, a fortified sector completely isolated from the rest of the operational base. This is the focal point of the Project Shadow network. Military scientists use this heavily shielded space to conduct experiments far below the surface, isolated from the millions of civilians living directly overhead. Whatever incident took place in this deepest room is the direct cause of the destruction after destruction cited in the archives. The leading theories on the fire beneath the veil range from a literal thermal weapon to an experimental energy source that went critically wrong inside this vault. Internal heat likely compromised the bulkheads from the inside out. Faced with structural collapse and the pressure of the Hooghly pressing down from above, the facility was permanently sealed and abandoned to the river. Today, thousands of commuters and cargo ships cross the river daily, oblivious to the flooded concrete tomb resting right beneath their hulls. The weight of the Ganges riverbed acts as a permanent, heavy veil, ensuring the destructive history of the shadow network remains buried under millions of tons of water and silt.